Alright guys, I got the 8-inch portals in, and here's a little unboxing video. So we'll start over here. Nothing too interesting, just big old brake rotors. Obviously they're drilled for multiple wheel patterns like the other ones, and they give you a set of complete studs with every different size stud for every different, whatever you want to run. This is a steering bracket that bolts onto the front portal back plate. This is all your hardware, pretty nice looking stuff, plugs, etc. They give you a socket for these big old nuts, which is hilarious. Obviously I'm a real man, so I already have a full socket set, but that's nice, I like that touch. Brake lines look pretty good, nice steel braided brake lines. That's the covers for the portal brackets. Instructions, nice color instructions. Bolts to secure to the back plates. These are your brackets to adapt to your calipers. Here's all your portal nuts and other little nuts and brackets, and I'm not even sure what all these do yet, but I'm sure we'll figure it out shortly. And so Knuckle Bracket. So moving over here, this is your rear back plate and the adapter that adapts to the Talon X suspension. It's, you know, this is all cast and then that's machined. Looks pretty solid the way it bolts down, pretty sharp looking. You know, nice threads and everything, pretty cool. Very solid feeling, double captured unlike the factory knuckles. That's cool. Really thick back plates, very heavy duty. Here's the front one. This is a little frustrating to me. It comes with a ball joint installed, and if you look on the website, it does not indicate that it comes with a ball joint installed. So I ordered a set of these, which was $200, by the way, for 2 ball joints. Ridiculously expensive. And they already came installed, and if you read the website on these, you would not know that it came with ball joints installed. So that makes me a little mad, but whatever, saves me the trouble of having to install the ball joint, so that's good. You do have to super glue the boot on. It comes with this kit and super glue. It's a little funny, but this is interesting the way it's got the CV guard wrap here. The welds look good. I've seen some Super ATV penetration issues in the past, but looks pretty decent. So there's your ball joint. That's where your tie rod hooks up. I wonder what these are then. I thought these were for the tie rod. This big bulky piece right here, some kind of bracket. I'm not sure what that is. We'll have to figure it out. But let me point you out that this made in China. It's all over everything. So American made. Yeah, okay, thanks. That's cute, Super ATV. I guess they gave up on that. Whatever, no big deal to me, but you know, they used to make a big deal about saying I was American made. So these things are really heavy. There's some stuff like this that happened in shipping. The powder coat's shipped off in these few spots I've seen there and a couple other spaces. That's just the opposite ones from opposite sides. And that's pretty much everything, except I will now show you inside one of the portal brackets and talk to you more about why I love portals and all that stuff. Okay, so this is one of the portals opened up. Yes, I did it in the kitchen and scratched my table, and I'm kind of mad about it. So they had some red grease everywhere, but other than that, you know, not too much of a mess to separate. There's just a bunch of bolts that I put in one of these things, but some bolts that hold it together are separate from the bolts that bolt to the back plate. Now you're probably wondering why I got 8-inch portals, right? I don't really do bounty holes, and I'm not really a mall crawler. So I've had 2 sets of 4-inch portals, Gen 1s and Gen 3s. The Gen 1s were horrific, had tons of issues. The Gen 3s were decent, but gaskets still leak. So I love the O-ring instead of the gasket, because the gasket that's getting pinched and torqued and, you know, has the weight of the vehicle on it over time is going to get flattened out and stuff loosens up and leaks. This O-ring gets compressed into the groove, and it's a metal to metal connection. So I like this design a lot better. Also, the 8-inch portals have 1.5 inches of clocking, which really is just, you know, they tilt the front portals forward and the back portals back to give you 1.5 inches of rake, which helps you clear bigger tires. And when you're 8 inches higher, it helps you with stability. I still think it's going to water wheel just fine. Now you're probably wondering, this is advertised as an 8-inch lift and they have some clocking. You know, I was wondering, I don't know if you are. So let's see. So from center to center, right at 8 inches. So saying it's 8-inch lift is a little bit misleading, right? Because it has to be straight up and down to give you 8 inches. It's clocked a little bit. It's a little bit lower than 8 inches of lift, but I'd much rather have a little bit lower lift and the 1.5 inches of rake. If you look at the gears here, yes, they're very big gears. You have to use big gears to get 8 inches. This middle gear is just an idler, so if you want to calculate the ratio, you can leave this out of your equation. It's just the big gear divided by the small gear. The ratio I calculated a while ago is about 1.82 to 1, which Super ATV calls a 45% because of how they do their math. But what you need to know is if you're going to run stock size tires, your engine will be turning twice the RPMs in the same gear as it would without these. Not exactly twice. If it was 2 to 1, it'd be twice. It's 1.82 to 1, so pretty close to 2 to 1. So that's going to give the Talon plenty of torque to turn like a 40-inch tire. I'm only planning on running a 38-inch Aztec, which is really more like a 37. Little lighter tire setup. These things are not light though, they're extremely heavy. When I start installing them and get them all built up to put on the machine, I'll give you the full weights and everything. Some other observations, 2 fill plugs, 1 drain plug, sealed bearings, which is kind of funny. Why would you have sealed bearings? It runs in gear oil. Your bearings are properly lubricated already. Whatever. I don't know about the portal blood yet. Haven't really researched it too much. A lot of people swear by it. I think it's probably a gimmick. I'm probably going to run regular gear oil. Yeah, they're not vented. They're a sealed system like a lower unit on a boat. You get away with it because the 3 gears don't generate that much heat, and there's a lot of aluminum as a heat sink, so it keeps the air in there from expanding too much, but that's all fine and dandy. Another cool thing the Gen 3s have, my other portals have this too, is this top seal on both sides, it seals to the gear, not to the axle, which is better because an axle sits in there and it can rock around the splines a little bit, so it's not as good of a sealing surface. So if you've got an old beat up axle, you could have a leak because of that. This, it seals in here. So the sealing is a little better on these newer portals. Let's look at the output seal, if we can see it. Oh, we can't, because I got the shaft in that one. I don't feel like taking all that apart and getting greasy again. But there they are. Pretty excited about it. I've wanted these for a while. You know, portals are neat. They give you a gear reduction and a lift right at the wheel, so it takes the stress off of your axles, your transmission, your transfer case, your drive shafts, etc. They do put a huge amount of stress on your ball joints and your bushings and your A-arms and your frame. That's one of the reasons I got the Talon X. You know, the shorter A-arm means the less of a lever arm for this portal to rip the arm off the frame. Because it's an X, I did not get the frame brace. I don't think it's necessary. I don't like the frame brace either. Some buddies of mine have them and they're really clunky and they don't line up very well. I'll make my own if I need something like that. So I didn't do the frame brace, and I'm not planning on running track bars for now. We'll see how it goes. If I start having a lot of issues, I might eventually rig up some track bars. But pretty excited about it. I got the cast, not the billet, because I'm not trying to run super huge tires, and I don't know too many people who have broken the cast, especially not on a 100 horsepower Talon. I always say I shouldn't have any issues because people are running these on a bike that, you know, is twice as heavy as mine with twice the horsepower, running, you know, 56-inch tires. But the way I drive, I always manage to break stuff. So Super 8 people will probably get mad at me and start ignoring me when I ask for more warranty stuff, like they did my first gen portals. But whatever. But yeah, that's a quick rundown on the portals. I'll do a full installation video. Obviously, this is just an unboxing and kind of like an easy opinion video. But comment below if you have any questions.